Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking to you about the top 5 mistakes that people make in job interviews. So it's crucial that you are prepared and you show that you're interested in the role and in the company during your interview. This can definitely push you ahead of other candidates. There's a lot of people applying for jobs of the same role that you may be applying for, so it's important that you make yourself stand out. The first mistake that people make usually is not asking questions or not asking the right questions. Not asking questions at all makes you seem kind of uninterested or unprepared for the interview. Asking the interviewer questions kind of shows that you are ready to take on this role and you're thinking about how you would be a good fit for the company. So it's important that you do ask questions at the end of the interview. You may want to have a few ready on hand beforehand. So some examples would be, what are the biggest challenges someone in this role may face? What are the company's priorities for this role? What kind of growth opportunities are available within the company? So things like that. You can definitely research other questions online, but those are just a few options. And asking questions just makes you seem like you're engaged and you're very interested in the role, and it shows that you are prepared. The next mistake would be being overly casual. So this comes with how you dress and in conversation. So you want to make sure you are dressed appropriately. You don't want to really dress down. You want to make sure you're in proper work attire. Even if the company has a dress code, you should just make sure that you are dressing up. You're dressing up for an interview, so you want to make sure that you're presentable and professional. When it comes to conversations, it's important to be friendly and conversational, but you want to make sure you're avoiding using slang or making jokes like that. That's just a general rule, just to make you seem more professional. It's not really the time to be funny, but you can definitely do that once you have landed the job. The third mistake is not doing your research. This is a big one that a lot of people end up missing out on. You want to make sure that you are researching the company beforehand. So it's a very competitive job market. There's a lot of people applying for these jobs, and you want to stand out and show that you are interested in the company as much as you are interested in the role, because you working for the company, you are supporting whatever their mission is. So you want to make sure you know their mission and things like that about the company. The potential employer will definitely be very impressed if you do your research ahead of time, and this will help you when asking questions also that can be tailored to the specific role or the company. So you don't want to miss out on this crucial step of the interview process. Sometimes they may ask in the beginning of the interview something like, so what do you know about the company? So you want to make sure you are prepared for that question and things like that. The next mistake is not practicing. So practicing is very important. You want to make sure that you practice the common interview questions beforehand, so you are prepared for it and you look very professional and prepared and interested in the job. Practicing will definitely make you feel more confident. You can practice with any family member or friends. You can practice in the mirror, things like that. You want to make sure that you are prepared to answer all the questions, and you always want to have an answer to the question. So just practicing would be the best option for you. And the final mistake is not being prepared overall. So you want to make sure you do your homework on the company. Like I mentioned before, you want to do your research on the company, their goals, their missions, what they do. You also want to do your research on the particular role. If you are confused on the demands of the job, then that's something that you would have to ask. You want to learn as much as you can about the company and its culture as well. And it'll make you come across as more informed and interested. In addition to researching the company, you want to make sure you have thought through all your common interview questions. They often ask about your experience. They always ask, tell me about yourself. So you want to make sure you have an answer for that. When it comes to answering that question, you want to make sure, or any of the questions, you want to make sure you're not over explaining, and you also want to make sure you're not saying too little. So you want to find that balance. But they'll often ask about your experience, your strengths and weaknesses, why you're interested in the role. And you can definitely go online and see the common interview questions online and plan out your answers ahead of time. So you want to be prepared to answer these questions very thoroughly and concisely. So those are the 5 mistakes that are very common in job interviews. You want to make sure you're prepared, dress appropriately, converse appropriately, arrive on time, and practice active listening skills as well. So hopefully this video helped you, and hopefully you remember not to make these mistakes at your next job interview.